George Santos, man. George Santos. We need more of this guy. He is fun. This guy is something else here. He went on one of these nothing far-right networks. I don't know if it's Newsmax or One American News or some other one I never heard of, but this guy's show is called Mike Crispy Unafraid. I mean, come on. This is like an AI-generated show for the far right. I mean, this is so goofy. So he goes on the show, probably because he's one of the only ones that'll have him, and he's trying to defend himself. And the things he the things he says are just too beautiful. I cannot. It fills me with joy hearing this man try to defend himself.
They come for me, I go right back for them, because I think for far too long they've gotten away with getting along to get along. So no, it's not going to stay that way anymore. I'm going to call them out. You want to call me a liar? I'll call you a sellout. I mean, Mitt Romney, the man goes to the State of the Union of the United States wearing a Ukraine lapel pin, tells me, a Latino gay man, that I shouldn't sit in the front, that I should be in the back. Well, guess what? Rosa Parks didn't sit in the back, and neither am I going to sit in the back. That's just the reality of how it works. Mitt Romney lives in a very different world, and he needs to buckle up because it's going to be a bumpy ride for him.
I love the fact that this man has absolutely zero shame. He has no shame. He just compared himself to Rosa Parks. Because Mitt Romney was like, hey, man, you're a disgrace and embarrassment to the Republican Party. Like, just get out of here, basically. You're like Rosa. By the way, these guys hate identity politics, but the second they feel like they can use it for their own purposes, he's like, I'm a gay Latino man. I'm a gay Latino man, so I'm being oppressed. Oh, please, dude. By the way, he used to say he was Jewish. He's not that, but he said he was that. Why? Because he was trying to, get the brownie points. Oh my God. I have to show you this. This is the guy who's comparing himself to Rosa Parks. Federal prosecutors have charged Representative George Santos of New York with 13 counts of money laundering, stealing public money, wire fraud, and making false statements to Congress. Prosecutors said the charges resulted from fraudulent schemes and brazen misrepresentations designed to mislead donors, enrich Mr. Santos, and win a seat in Congress as a Republican from Queens. So here's an overview of the charges. The bulk of the charges relate to what prosecutors said was a 2022 scheme in which Mr. Santos solicited at least $50,000 in donations from political donors for a fake super PAC and then pocketed the money for personal expenses, including luxury goods and designer clothing. He shook down donors and then bought designer clothing. As part of that arrangement, prosecutors accused Mr. Santos of committing 5 counts of wire fraud when the candidate and an unnamed political consultant he directed told potential donors in emails and text messages that their contributions would exclusively support the Republican campaign and pay for TV ads. Prosecutors did not identify the limited liability company, but said that it was not legally a super PAC. 2 donors ultimately transferred $25,000 to the company, and Mr. Santos then transferred the funds to his personal bank accounts to help pay off debts and purchase goods for himself. They go on. Mr. Santos was also charged with 3 counts of money laundering in connection to the donor solicitation scheme. Prosecutors charged the congressman with 2 more counts of wire fraud and 1 count of stealing public money in connection with what they said was another scheme to obtain unemployment benefits from New York beginning in June 2020. Mr. Santos was earning $120,000 a year through his employment at a Florida-based investment company. The prosecutor said he repeatedly told the state he had been unemployed since March. He collected more than $24,000. He was making $120,000 a year, and he said, I'm unemployed, and he shook down the taxpayer for $24,000 more in benefits. Remember, this is a guy who lied, said he was going to do a fundraiser for a dog that was sick to get the dog health care, to get the dog treatment, and then he stole the money and used it for himself. The list of lies and misrepresentations that this guy engaged in, it is record-breaking. He lied. Didn't he lie and say his mom died in 9/11? And then, his mom was still alive when he said that. And years later, when she actually died, he was like, rest in peace, Mom. I love you. Jesus Christ, man. And he's out there comparing himself to Rosa Parks and playing the identity card. Why? Because he thinks, oh, this is a good opportunity for me to use the identity card. I'm back in a corner. Everybody knows I'm wrong. Everybody knows Mitt Romney, of all people, is actually correct when he says you're a disgrace and get out of here. So what do? You're telling a gay Latino man that he's not good. Well, don't you know that all gay Latino men are good by definition, including me? And I love the host, laughing along with him. What do you do? I thought you were a conservative. Aren't you going to laugh out of town his fucking, stupid identity argument? Aren't you going to mock the fact he compared himself to Rosa Parks? Look, I'm really, I'll just look at this guy as like a science experiment, right? Like, it is amazing to me. He's born without the thing in your brain that gives you shame. That's what it is. He just doesn't have the capacity to feel shame. And it is astonishing to watch because it is so disconnected. It is so outside the norm we'd expect from the normal human spectrum that I didn't even know it existed to this extreme degree. But here we are. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.